going to demonstrate a straight stitch here. Probably one of your most basic sewing stitches. In your case, you're going to use it to attach pieces to the front of your project. I have my needle threaded with regular thread, so I have the double threading technique, and I have a knot tied at the end of my thread. To start with, we always want to start a straight stitch from, or any sewing stitch really, up from the back of our fabric. We want to come up from the back so that when we pull our needle through, our knot is on the back. We don't want our knot to show on the front of our project. So we start coming up from the back so that the knot is on the back of our fabric. And then a little ways away, maybe a 1/4 inch or so, I'm certainly not going to take a ruler and measure it, but a little ways away from that first stitch, we're going to come back down through the fabric to make a stitch. Then the same distance away, I'm going to come back up through my fabric and back down through my fabric a short distance away. And that is your basic straight stitch. It comes up from the back and it goes back down through the front. Up from the back and back down through the front. Your stitches should be pretty uniform, which means they should all be close to the same size and the same distance apart. You don't want really huge stitches. If you have gigantic stitches, they're not going to hold your pieces or your fabric onto your pillow very well. So you want small stitches that are nice and evenly spaced and kind of all the same size. We want to be careful when we're sewing that we pay attention to where our needle is going. For example, I'm coming up from the back of my fabric now. If I weren't paying attention to what I was doing and I came back up through the back of my fabric instead of going down like I should, what's going to happen is now I'm wrapping my thread around my project. You can see that it's wrapped around the project because I didn't go back down the way I should have. So I need to pull this out. So I'm going to pull from the back and kind of work my needle back through my fabric so that I'm not stuck anymore. So be careful that you're paying attention. I just came up through my fabric. Now I want to go back down. So you need to pay attention to where your last stitch was so that you're not wrapping a loop around your fabric and causing a tangle.